Joining us now is GOP commentator and RNC Senior Communications Advisor for Black Media Affairs, Dennard. Paris, yesterday we saw the president say that he's going to halt funding to the World Health Organization pending a review of that organization. It's something that he's teased for a long time, but yesterday we finally saw him actually take action when it comes to that topic. Do you think it was the right move at the right time?
There's no doubt that the president made the right decision for the American people in regards to how we as a country respond to the information that was given to us. Look, at the end of the day, the president can only make decisions based upon the information that he's given. If he's given bad information, if we find out that big important agencies and organizations like the World Health Organization, which the American people, the American taxpayer pays hundreds of millions of dollars to, is actually China-centric and is deceiving the American people and putting out false information, seemingly trying to cover for China's indiscretions as it relates to really accurately reporting on the ramifications of what this virus was doing in that country. We have to hold people accountable under review. Now, what the president did do was say, as we do this internal investigation, this review of the World Health Organization, we're going to stop funding them from the taxpayer. I think that's responsible, and I think that that's the good thing to do because the American people want answers. There are people suffering and dying because of the coronavirus that originated out of Wuhan, and we need to make sure that we hold people accountable for the ramifications of what it has done to the American people and to the American economy.
And, for example, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was talking about how at one point the president said that there was transparency from the World Health Organization, praised them to some degree. But I think it's worth pointing out that at that time, we didn't know that the World Health Organization was giving us inaccurate information. I mean, they were a trusted source for a lot of countries regarding their response to COVID-19. And it's only now where we're looking back and realizing that they knew that there was human-to-human transmission at the time where they said that there was not. They knew that masks were effective, even though at the time they said that they were not. So we're now getting more information, shedding light on the inaccurate information coming from the World Health Organization. So when House Speaker Pelosi accuses the president of, quote, ignoring global health experts and disregarding science, what is the Republican and the conservative response to those types of comments?
Well, this is absolutely not true. And it's unfortunate that Speaker Pelosi is choosing to dive into politics and not thinking about people. This is the same Speaker of the House who praised and congratulated the Democrats in Congress for blocking $250 billion worth of aid to America's small business owners that have been impacted negatively by COVID-19. This is the same Speaker of the House who gleefully went to Chinatown in San Francisco and said, all fine here, why don't you come down and have a parade here in Chinatown, and encourage people to come out and go in the streets of Chinatown. She is irresponsible, and she's playing politics instead of really being concerned about the people of the of America, let alone her constituents. And so what she has to understand is that the information that was given to the world was the best information at the time coming out of the World Health Organization. As the president and the rest of the world realized that the information was not accurate, then they acted responsibly and acted accordingly. This is the responsible thing to do, and the president is doing. But this is not the time for more political shenanigans from the left, especially from Speaker Pelosi, who has zero credibility on this issue when she single-handedly is blocking aid to America's small business owners, many of which look like me. Black small business owners need support, and Speaker Pelosi and the Democrats are blocking it.
It is a little ironic that House Speaker Pelosi is critical of the WHO funding decision by the president because she's the one who acted on the information put out by the World Health Organization and then, as you just mentioned, told her constituents to come down to Chinatown, go out, go to restaurants. So in a way, you could say that her taking the bad information from the World Health Organization put her in a spot now where she was making inaccurate claims, inaccurate information, and even putting people's lives in danger by telling them to go outside and continue life as normal. So it seems to me that she should be one who's also critical of the World Health Organization. But you wrote something on Monday that I thought was really interesting. It was more of an open letter, if anything, to your other conservatives about the federal bailouts that we're seeing right now under this system. Can you speak a little bit as to that?
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for bringing that up. I wrote an op-ed that appeared in Town Hall, and really what I was saying, I wrote several op-eds, and what I wanted to let people know is the American people understand that we are in a crisis. And my fellow conservatives, this op-ed appeared in Black Conservative the op-ed was just really important because I want Americans to know, conservatives to know, that for no fault of their own, this is not about personal responsibility. This is not about people not doing what they're supposed to do with the taxpayers' fund. The governments of America were shut down, state, local, and federal. And to my fellow conservatives, I just tell them, I implore them, this is temporary. This is not going to last long. This is a stopgap measure that's going to help the American people in the long run by doing a temporary relief to sustain small businesses, to make sure that when the country reopens, that they're there. It's better to do this now than wait and do nothing and have millions and millions on the system, taking advantage of all of the government programs that we worked so hard to get people employed. It's the smart thing to do, it's the responsible thing to do, and it's a temporary thing to do. That's why I wrote the op-ed that appeared in Black Community News.
And I think it was very effective at doing that, too, because what you're saying right now is very much so true. People hope that you can turn the economy right back on the same way that you were able to turn it off in response to this virus. But the small business loans that you're talking about, the $2.3 trillion plan that you're talking about as well, that was an effort to sustain business, get people through this for the time being, keep people on payrolls so that when we do open businesses once again, we can hit the ground running compared to what you are showing concerns about, too, which is a more prolonged recovery, which I think is what a lot of people are worrying about. So I think it's a very astute topic to write on at this very moment. But Paris Dennard, always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for coming on and breaking down these issues.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.